Hello everyone. Before I'm going to talk about our topic today, I'm going to introduce first the members of our group. We have first Dr. Jem, second we have Dr. Jel, the third we have Dr. Richard. Me as your speaker, I'm Isagani, you can call me Ganz. The title of this video is all about the teacher and the curriculum. But most of my slides are focused on what? The curriculum, concepts, nature, and purpose. Here I'm going to talk about the importance of curriculum, the definitions of curriculum, the types of curriculum operating in schools, and the major foundations of curriculum. The importance of curriculum. An effective curriculum provides measurable plan and structure for delivering a quality education. Second, an effective curriculum identifies the learning outcomes, standards, and core competencies. An effective curriculum also is a steady, organized path, progress, common goals, and always changing or always evolving. According to my research, curriculum is a standards-based sequence of planned experiences, central guide for all educators. It is also the structure and organization and considerations enhancing student learning. Curriculum also facilitates instruction. Curriculum also is defined from different points of view. It can be traditional points of view of curriculum or the progressive points of view of curriculum. We'll go now to the traditional point of view of curriculum. First, in the early years of 20th century, the traditional concepts held of the curriculum is that it is a body of subjects or subject matter prepared by the teachers for the students to learn. It was synonymous to the course of study and syllabus. Robert M. Hutchins views curriculum as permanent studies, where the rules of grammar, reading, rhetoric, and logic and mathematics for basic education are emphasized. According to him, basic education should emphasize the 3 R's, and college education should be grounded on liberal education. And we know already what are the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. According to Arthur Bester, an essentialist, he believes that the mission of the school should be intellectual training. Curriculum should focus on the fundamental intellectual discipline of grammar, literature, and writing. It should also include mathematics, science, history, and foreign language. For Joseph Schwab's view of curriculum is that discipline is the sole source of curriculum. He said that curriculum should consist only of knowledge which comes from discipline, which is the sole source. In our education system, curriculum is divided into chunks of knowledge we call subject areas in the basic education, such as English, mathematics, science, social studies, and others. In college, discipline may include humanities, sciences, languages, and many more. Most of the traditional ideas view curriculum as written documents or a plan of action in accomplishing goals. After we define curriculum in the traditional way, we will go now to the progressive point of view of this curriculum. Curriculum is defined as the total learning experiences of the individual. This definition is anchored on John Dewey's definition of experience and education. He believed that reflective thinking is a means that unifies curriculum. Thought is not derived from action but tested by application. According also to Caswell and Campbell, we viewed curriculum as all experiences children have under the guidance of teachers. Mars and Willis view curriculum as all the experiences in the classroom which are planned and entered by the teacher and also learned by the students. For Smith and Stanley and Shores, they define curriculum as a sequence of potential experiences set up in schools for the purpose of disciplining children and youth in group ways of thinking and acting. So we will go now to the points of view on curriculum development. There are two models of curriculum development according to Ralph Tyler and Helda Tava. The points of view on curriculum development according to Ralph Tyler's model. He introduced 4 basic principles in rationale. He posited 4 fundamental questions, principles in examining any curriculum in schools. Number 1. What educational purposes should a school seek to attain? So it talks about the purposes of the school. Number 2. What educational experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes? That's educational experiences related to the purposes. Number 3. How can these educational experiences be effectively organized? That's organization of the experiences. Number 4. How can we determine whether these purposes are being attained or not? That's the evaluation of the experiences. So I'll go now to the points of view on curriculum development according to Hilda Tava. Here, she introduced linear model, or we call it a grassroots approach. She improved Tyler's rationale by making a linear model. She believed that teachers who teach or implement the curriculum should participate in developing it. She presented 7 major steps to her model where teachers could have major input. Number 1 step: diagnosis of learners' needs and expectations of the larger society. Number 2, formulation of learning objectives. Number 3, selection of learning content. Number 4, organization of learning content. Number 5, selection of learning experiences. Number 6, organization of learning activities. Number 7, determination of what to evaluate and the means of doing it. So if we are going to look at our curriculum now, I'm sure the 7 steps are always present when we are going to create what? An instructional design. Okay, we'll go now to the types of curriculum operating in schools. Number 1, recommended curriculum. Number 2, written curriculum. Number 3, taught curriculum. Number 4, supported curriculum. Number 5, assessed curriculum. Number 6, learned curriculum. Number 7, hidden curriculum. Number 8, concomitant curriculum. Number 9, phantom curriculum. Number 10, null. The types of curriculum operating in schools. Number 1, recommended curriculum. Most of the curricula are recommended. These are proposed by scholars and professional organizations. The curriculum may come from a national agency or any professional organization who has stake in education. The second type of curriculum operating in school is a written curriculum. It includes documents, course of study or syllabi for implementation. Most written curricula are made by curriculum experts with participation of teachers. An example of this is the basic education curriculum and the written lesson plan of each classroom teacher, made up of objectives and planned activities of the teacher. The third type of curriculum is a taught curriculum. The different planned activities which are put into action in the classroom compose the taught curriculum. These are varied activities that are implemented in order to arrive at the objectives or purposes of the written curriculum. It varied according to the learning styles of the students and the teaching styles of the teacher. Number 4 type of curriculum is a supported curriculum. In order to have a successful teaching, other than the teacher, there must be materials which should support or help in the implementation of a written curriculum. Support curriculum includes material resources such as textbooks, computers, audiovisual materials, laboratory equipment, playgrounds, zoos, and other facilities. Support curriculum should enable each learner to achieve real and lifelong learning. Type of curriculum number 5. Assessed curriculum. This refers to a tested or evaluated curriculum, in which series of evaluations are being done by the teachers at the duration and end of the teaching episodes to determine the extent of teaching or to tell if the students are progressing. Assessment tools like pencil and paper tests, authentic instruments like portfolio are being utilized here. The sixth type of curriculum is the learned curriculum. This refers to the learning outcomes achieved by the students. Learning outcomes are indicated by the results of the tests and changes in behavior, which can be either cognitive, affective, or psychomotor. The seventh curriculum is the hidden curriculum. What is this? This is the unintended curriculum, which is not deliberately planned, but it can modify behavior or influence learning outcomes. We have this peer influence, school environment, physical condition, teacher-learner interaction, mode of the teacher, and many other factors make up the hidden curriculum. The number 8 type of curriculum is concomitant curriculum. These are the things that are taught at home. Those experiences that are part of a family's experiences or related experiences sanctioned by the family. This type of curriculum may be received at church in the context of religious expression, lessons on values, ethics or morals, molded behaviors, or social experiences based on a family's preferences. The type of curriculum number 9 is phantom curriculum. What is this? The messages prevalent in and through exposure to media. And we know already our children today, they are very much exposed to media. The type of curriculum number 10 is called null. What is null? Null is what is not taught. Not teaching some particular idea or sets of ideas may be due to mandates from higher authorities, to a teacher's lack of knowledge, or to deeply ingrained assumptions and biases. So, those are the 10 types of curriculum operating in schools. This time, we will go now to the major foundations of curriculum. There are 4: philosophical foundation, historical foundation, psychological foundation, and the social foundation of curriculum. In Ralph Tyler's framework, it shows that philosophy is one of the 5 criteria in selecting educational purposes. There are 4 educational philosophies, namely perennialism, essentialism, progressivism, and reconstructionism. One of the 4 educational philosophies is perennialism. What is the aim of education here? Yes, to educate the rational person, to cultivate the intellect. What is also the role of education? Teachers help the students think with reason. Next, what is the focus in the curriculum? Classical subjects, literary analysis, and curriculum is constant. What are the curriculum trends? It is by the use of great books and return to liberal arts. The next philosophy is essentialism. What is the aim of education? To promote the intellectual growth of the individual and educate a competent person. What is the role of education according to essentialism? The teacher is the sole authority in his or her subject area or field of specialization. What is the focus in the curriculum? Essential skills of the 3 R's and essential subjects of English, science, history, math, and foreign language. What is the curriculum trends? Excellence in education, back to basics, and cultural literacy. The third philosophy is progressivism. Let's go to the aim of education. Here, the aim of education is to promote democratic and social living. What is the role of education? The role is that knowledge leads to growth and development of lifelong learners who actively learn by doing. What is the focus in the curriculum? Subjects are interdisciplinary, integrative, and interactive. Curriculum is focused on students' interests, human problems, and affairs. What are the trends? Here, the trends are school reforms, relevant and contextualizes curriculum, humanistic education. The fourth philosophy is reconstructionism. The aim of education is to improve and reconstruct the society, to educate for change. What is the role of education? The role is that teachers act as agents of change and reform in various educational projects, including research. What is the focus? The focus on present and future trends and issues of national and international interests. What are the trends? The trends should be what? Equality of educational opportunities in education. And there should be access to global education. So those are the 4 educational philosophies. We will focus now on the historical foundations of curriculum. The historical development shows the development changes in the purposes, principles, and content of the curriculum. The different changes are influenced by educational philosophy, psychology, and pedagogical theories. This implies that curriculum is ever-changing, putting in knowledge and content from many fields of discipline. So here are the different theorists of curriculum. So, the first curriculum theorist is Franklin Babbitt from 1876 to 1956. He presented curriculum as a science that emphasizes on students' need and that curriculum prepares for adult life. Here's also Weyrich Charters from 1875 to 1952. He considered curriculum also as a science which is based on students' need and the teachers planned the activities. We have also here William Kilpatrick from 1871 to 1965. He viewed curriculum as purposeful activities which are child-centered. The purpose of curriculum is child development and growth. Next, we have Harold Rugg from 1886 to 1960. According to him, curriculum should develop the whole child. He emphasized social studies in the curriculum and the teacher plans the lesson in advance. We have also here Hollis Caswell from 1901 to 1989. He sees curriculum as organized around social functions of themes, organized knowledge and learners' interests. According to Ralph Tyler, from 1902 to 1994, he believes that curriculum is a science and an extension of school's philosophy. So we will go now to the psychological foundations of curriculum. Psychological foundations of curriculum. Psychology provides a basis for the teaching and learning process. It unifies the element of the learning process and some of the questions which can be addressed by psychological foundations of education. There are 3 major groups of learning theories. Number 1, behaviorist psychology. Number 2, cognitive psychology. Number 3, humanistic psychology. Behaviorist psychology. Behaviorist psychology considered that learning should be organized in order that students can express success in the process of mastering the subject matter. The method is introduced in a step-by-step manner with proper sequencing of tasks, which is viewed by other educational psychologists as simplistic and mechanical. We have also a lot of behaviorist psychologists. We have Edward Lee Thorndike, introduced connectionism. We have Ivan Pavlov, who introduced classical conditioning. We have B.F. Skinner, who introduced operant conditioning. And we have a lot of behaviorists also. The second one is cognitive psychology. To the cognitive theorists, learning constitutes a logical method for organizing and interpreting learning. Learning is rooted in the tradition of subject matter and is similar to the cognitive development theory. Teachers use a lot of problem and thinking skills in teaching and learning. These are exemplified by practices like reflective thinking, creative thinking, intuitive thinking, discovery learning, and many more. The third is humanistic psychology. Humanist psychologists are concerned with how learners can develop their human potential. The process, not the products. It deals so much more on personal needs, not the subject matter, psychological meaning, and environmental situations. In summary, psychology has great influence in the curriculum. Learners are not machines, and the mind is not a computer. Humans are biological beings affected by their biology and cultures. The psychological foundations will help curriculum makers in nurturing a more advanced, more comprehensive, and complete human learning. We will go now to the fourth foundation of curriculum, the social foundations of curriculum. Social foundations of curriculum. Schools exist within the social context. Societal culture affects and shapes schools and their curriculum. In considering the social foundations of curriculum, we must recognize that schools are only one of the many institutions that educates society. The home, the family, community, likewise, educate the people in the society. But schools are formal institutions that address more complex and interrelated societies and the world. Society, as ever dynamic, is a source of a very fast changes which are difficult to cope with and to adjust to. Thus, schools are made to help to understand these changes. In order for schools to be relevant, schools' curricula should address diversity, explosion of knowledge, school reforms, and education for all. The relationship of curriculum and society is mutual and encompassing. Hence, to be relevant, the curricula should reflect and preserve the culture of society and its aspirations. At the same time, society should also imbibe the changes brought about by the formal institutions called schools. All curriculums in the world, all curricula, share only one goal: to help students learn. Thank you.